Okay, so now I'm going to start blocking in the dark green areas, which are going to be the areas in the landscape. Maybe I'm going to have like some trees. And I don't have to get the exact color, but I'm just laying down those colors now, just with the side. Using the side in the front of the knife, I'm kind of switching it back and forth. And then I'll move to a lighter green, and then I'll move to my pure dark greens. So it's really nice to get a varied different types of greens down on the canvas. So I have some green, blue, and yellow. I have my ultramarine blue. I add a little bit of yellow and my phthalo green. And I'm covering this. I have some dark greens on top, but I'm now starting to put the lighter greens, as you can see, around the darker greens. And in this situation, I am working my way from dark to light. I'm doing that because as I add, if I start with all the light colors, they would kind of be contaminated already with all these light colors. Therefore, if I have all of the dark colors, I can keep adding lights to them, or lighter colors, and especially to the greens, and I don't have to keep remixing them. But if you start with your light colors, you'll waste a little bit more paint here in this green area. And you can do it both ways. You can start with your dark colors and start lightening them, you know, like dark greens and adding light greens. Or, you know, you can start light greens and work your way to dark. In this situation, I'm working a little bit faster, starting with my darks and just adding lighter colors to them. And I want to have a variation of different types of greens. And I just want to kind of lay the base color down. And it's going to change. I'm going to add some browns in here, some grays. Remember, this is more, as we talked, of an abstract painting. And I'm just using basically one type of knife. And now I can go to my lighter yellows, and I can put that yellow like right on top, and you can see it blends into a lighter green. Have a little bit more control. And don't worry about the strokes. You know, you can fine-tune the strokes later. The secret is just to get down the colors and kind of mask in those areas, because you're going to build up on them again, right? Now, when I'm painting on location, since the lights and the darks are the first colors, you know, the shadows and the light, they change drastically. I usually cover that first. But we're home, we're in the studio, we're relaxed. You know, I have my espresso, so I can basically start whichever any way I want. And I don't know about you, but when I paint, I love to hear the sound of the palette knife and the brush. It just really makes me feel that, you know, I'm accomplishing something, I'm moving ahead a little bit faster. So it's kind of nice to hear that sound. To me, it's relaxing. Okay, now the next thing is I want to start building up my browns. And when I add my browns, I have an umber brown here. You can also start, if you want it, with a lighter brown, like a blue and an orange. You can have a purple and a yellow. I'm just laying down these base of these brown colors. And in the brown, I want to incorporate, of course, some yellows and greens, because there's so much green and yellow in the landscape. So I'm now just putting in these brown areas, and I'm just masking it off. You can just see how the canvas is building up. I've only been working on it, I think it's been 10 minutes now, right? And usually by, when I'm working, usually like on location painting, if I have all my paints in front of me, I'm usually having all of these base colors down. I would say in less than a half an hour, especially if I'm painting plein air, again, because the light, you know, changes so drastically. I just want to lie down those base colors. So I'm used to painting, you know, very fast. You don't have to. I find out, but when students paint faster in the beginning, they think less about making a mistake, and sometimes that's good because it helps you, you know, put down stuff on the canvas without meditating and thinking about it too much. But there are some artists that like to work really slow, so you really don't know what you're going to like until you start painting and you develop your own method of how you want to put the colors down. So if it makes you more comfortable to go slow, then definitely you should go slow. Take the demos, you know, that we do in class, and the exercises that we do, and look at them and do them at your own time. Now we've kind of covered this area of the landscape, and I'm going to fill in this area. I believe that I want this to probably be more like a blue kind of shadow. But go at your own time. I know a lot of students that sometimes they have music going at the same time. I know when I'm painting, I have to have my favorite snack, or I might have espresso or something, feeling I'm treating myself to something at the same time while I'm painting. So now I'm pretty much almost finished. This is as wet as it's going to get. Usually I would, if I had, you know, my hair dry, I can go and blow dry this with my hair dry and start with the next application of paint, or, you know, just wait a while until this dries. It's really basically up to you how fast you want to work. You could let it dry naturally, or you could go with the hair dryer and blow dry it if you don't want to wait and go back up. But now the canvas is mostly covered, and then I'll go into the details. So I'll wait for this to dry, and I'll do another video when this is dry.